Too much about attempting the impossible.
What? What the fuck is this? Are they really serious right now? Nail nail polish customization? They can't be serious. This is a joke, right? This is this is a fucking jest from Square Enix right now. This is this is why I make the videos that I do, and I have the opinion that I do, the negative, sour opinion that I do about Square Enix, because this just does not make any sense at all. Are they trying to alienate a male audience completely with this game? Is that really what they're trying to do here? Because I've never seen anything this fucking stupid in a video game before. They got fucking nail polish customization in this game. Jesus fucking Christ. Courtesy of Square Enix, a demo for the upcoming action-based game Forspoken, which releases next month in January 2023 and will serve as the year's first major AAA release, was just unveiled at the Game Awards and released exclusively to PlayStation consoles, despite the fact that the game is also coming out on PC for an exorbitant price of $70. And months ago, I said I was not going to buy this game because I'm tired of Square Enix as far as their, well, really as far as everything that they fucking do. But primarily, I'm definitely sick of their greed. And the whole fiasco with the way they released the Final Fantasy VII Remake to PC, particularly to Steam, and resold the game for an exorbitant price of $70 after it had already been out on the market for over a year, making it one of the most expensive re-releases on the PC platform that I've ever seen. I did not want to support any more of their bullshit. And the only Square Enix game that I've bought recently is the remaster to Crisis Core, and I only bought that because it's a remaster to a game that's already good. The games like Final Fantasy 16, the Final Fantasy 7 Part 2 remake bullshit, Rebirth, whatever the fuck it's called, and whatever the fuck this is supposed to be, these games haven't proven themselves. So when it was announced that Square Enix had released a demo for this on PlayStation 5, I decided to go ahead and give the game, a fair shot. Because I'm a fair individual. I'll talk shit about a game all day, but I'll at least give at least most games a try before I make up my mind and declare it to be some bullshit. Where I'm at right now with Forspoken, after having spent over an hour playing the game through this extensive demo, which is actually a very large showpiece, preview for what's to come in January, I'm kind of split on it. For one, you play as this character named Frey or whatever, and Frey is like a black mage, like from one of the Final Fantasy games. So she has all of these magic powers. In the demo specifically, you have two. You have what's known as Frey's magic, which is her magic seems to be Earth style abilities. You could think of her as like an earthbender, like from the Avatar series. And then you have another skill tree in the demo where you can use another character's abilities based around fire. And Frey's magic is like long range attacks, which turns the game into like a third person shooter. And the fire abilities is like physical melee combat. And then you have on the left shoulder button these special attacks that require a cooldown. So you can use them once and then you gotta wait for the meter to go back down before you can use them again. The game seems to revolve around matching which magic spells are most effective to which specific enemies that you're actually fighting on screen. Like every enemy type has their own individual weakness. And depending on what their weakness is, that's the loadout that you switch to. Now, it's unclear how many loadouts that you'll actually have access to at any individual time when the game actually releases, the full game. But you can easily switch between loadouts either using the D-pad or using the DualSense's touchpad. The combat system, I would say, would be the strongest element for this game, but at times it still feels too much like Final Fantasy 15. It feels a bit clunky at times, but it's much faster and much more fluid a game compared to Final Fantasy 15's combat system. And this is from the same development team that made Final Fantasy 15. So it's easy to draw comparisons between the two. What I really don't get here is the fact that this is an open world game. And as an open world game, it feels extremely generic. The way you get around this open world is Frey has this dashing ability, this Frey character, and is very similar to the sprint action that was available in Final Fantasy 15. And it's even based around a stamina meter that has 5 segments, and you lose segments every time you dash, but the game will allow you to regain stamina through a visual prompt on screen that will allow you to continuously dash if you time your presses correctly. It's a fun system in the game, but I can see it getting very old very quickly. I know there will be other magic spells and whatnot in the full game itself, and that's based on what's been shown in the trailers. And I noticed at the very end of the demo, where they had like a small segment of gameplay, like a small little trailer. And within that trailer, there was gameplay of this Frey character riding around, surfing on this, I guess, surfboard that was made entirely of water. So there will be water abilities in the full game itself, as well as the earth abilities and the fire abilities. Regarding the skill trees, there was some very interesting abilities that they have in the skill trees that I can see that the combat system will be fleshed out much more in the final game compared to what it is in the demo. One ability that I locked allows you to summon these doppelgangers that's made entirely of fire, and they'll fight alongside you in combat. And I thought that was very interesting. Regarding the open world activities, it's very generic. You have a waypoint system similar to any other open world game that exists. You have fast travel points. You have some collectibles in the form of treasure chests that are just randomly scattered around the open world environment. And then you have your main objectives themselves. Regarding the actual difficulty of the combat system, none of the activities within this open world really feels new or fresh compared to any other open world game that currently exists on the market. And I can see that this game could potentially get extremely old very fast due to the lack of original ideas when it comes to the actual activities in the open world, despite the fact that navigation itself is actually one of the best parts about Forspoken, and I can see that here with this demo. However, something that I can see is likely going to be a problem, and has been a problem with virtually every Square Enix game that exists on the market, is the writing. So when it comes to the dialogue, in this game specifically, Frey has this series of cuffs or whatever on her arm, and that's where the magic spells come from. That's the source of her power, and the idea is that the cuff is actually alive and has like a British voice for some reason, which is weird. And there's a lot of banter between Frey and the cuff, but Square Enix deliberately goes out of their way to force in expletives, curse words in the dialogue.
Who are you trying to hit exactly?
That fucker right there.
Frey, what's the matter?
Can't fucking see straight.
And it just seems very try-hard, as if, they're trying to force an M rating without the game actually earning it naturally. At times, I didn't mind the dialogue, but for the most part, it just came off as annoying. And part of the reason for that is because it's too frequent. It's like with every action that you take, there's some kind of exchange between Frey and the cuff. And I don't think frequent dialogue like that is really necessary. And all it manages to accomplish is grating on the player's nerves. Also, the designs of the enemies and the design of Frey herself as far as like what she's actually wearing. Like she's wearing like white sneakers for some reason, despite the fact that this is supposed to be like a fantasy game with a fish out of water story. it just seems very random to me. And then, like I said, the designs of the enemies themselves, like you're fighting like mystical elk for some reason. And I don't really understand that. None of the enemies really feel distinctive enough. Some of them look like mindless zombies for some reason. And I don't get that. I really don't understand like what they're going for as far as the art direction goes. This game just seems to be very random. There are good elements to it, but there's nothing truly great about it. And I don't think this is really going to get high review scores. I think this is going to be middle of the road. I am more open to trying the final game out after playing the demo, but there are some aspects, some elements here that I really don't understand, such as the nail polish customization that I showed at the very beginning. Forspoken, overall, just based on the demo and what I've played of it thus far, it seems to be extremely random, and I really don't understand what audience Square Enix is going for, other than primarily a female audience, which doesn't make any sense to me. So this just seems to be another blunder from Square Enix thus far. The game quality-wise isn't necessarily bad, but it's not necessarily good either. I would still definitely wait for reviews on this one before diving in completely.